breaking news as we come on the air tonight. A massive, potentially historic storm slamming the center of the country, dumping several feet of snow, thousands of flights canceled or delayed, whiteout conditions, paralyzing travel, interstate highways shut down, many roads impassable. That same system sparking a tornado outbreak in the south, at least 14 twisters spotted in just the past 24 hours. And it's causing widespread destruction in the Texas Panhandle. The powerful, slow-moving storm is now heading east, and a new storm system is right behind it. ABC's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano leads us off from Colorado.
Tonight, with just 6 days till spring, a monster winter storm is wreaking havoc across the Rockies and northern plains. In Colorado, high winds triggering blizzard warnings in Denver. The intense snowfall raising more avalanche warnings in the mountains.
Winds have been slamming up against the foothills here just outside of Boulder, and we've got drifts up past my waist, just incredible amounts of snow.
Multiple highways, including a stretch of Interstate 70, forced to shut down. All runways at Denver's airport also shut down for a time.
Holy crap, look at that!
Farther south in the warm sector, tornadoes. This one outside Lubbock, sending debris skyward. Another one crossing Interstate 27 south of Amarillo. On the ground and from above, all kinds of damage. This massive cell phone tower mangled and knocked to the ground. Homes with roofs ripped to shreds. Miraculously, no injuries reported in these severe storms.
So good to hear that no one was hurt. Let's get right to Rob now. What's next for the storm, Rob?
Well, Lindsay, we still have a few hours to contend with this storm here in Colorado. We have 2 feet on the ground, still snowing, 19 inches in Denver as well. The low itself, east of us, still blizzard warnings up for the I-25 corridor until midnight. Winter storm warnings posted for Minnesota and Iowa as this thing pushes east. The northeast, you've got another cold blast of winter coming in. Tomorrow morning's wind chills will be teens and single digits. And this next storm coming in will traverse the mountains, be into the plains on Tuesday and Wednesday. Look like significant severe weather impacts here in part of the country. Another active week ahead. Lindsay?
Rob, thanks so much.
Sorry banjir guys. Bencana apa guys? Banjir. Jembatan hancur.
Okay.
Banjir susulan datang. Kosongkan. Allahu Akbar. Ini laporan langsung dari Gunung Mas. Woi, banjirnya mampet. Evergreen mampet, baru datang.
And a UN human rights expert says crimes against humanity are being committed in Myanmar. He told the UN Human Rights Council that since the coup, more than 2,000 people have been detained arbitrarily. Peunji has this report.
The death toll has been rising from the brutal military crackdown in Myanmar. The UN human rights investigator on Myanmar says the military junta had murdered at least 70 people.
They were educators, they were engineers, they were students, they were many ages, but more than half of those murdered were members of Generation Z, or young people under the age of 25.
He told the UN Human Rights Council that the military is detaining dozens, sometimes hundreds every day, saying more than 2,000 people have been detained since February 1st. And the violence has even spread into people's homes.
There is extensive video evidence of security forces viciously beating protesters, medics, and bystanders. There is video of soldiers and police systematically moving through neighborhoods, destroying property, looting shops, arbitrarily arresting protesters and passersby, and firing indiscriminately into people's homes.
He urged member states to take strong, decisive, and coordinated action as a coalition of nations, calling for multilateral sanctions on the junta leaders and on the military-owned oil and gas enterprises. Without sanctions, Myanmar's natural gas projects will generate revenues of about $1 billion this year, money the military could use to fund their attacks on protesters. Myanmar's foreign ministry rejected the UN criticism, claiming that the authorities have been, quote, maintaining law and order.
Authorities have been exercising utmost restraint to deal with the violent protests.
He added that since February 8th, the authorities have imposed a measure which prohibits gatherings of 5 or more people in public places where violent protests have, quote, created disturbances to the public order and the rule of law. Haeunji, Arirang News.
Now that video we just watched, it was 4 days ago. This 18 hours ago right here. Let's see the update on this.
In Myanmar, it's been 43 days since the military seized power. 38 more people have been killed. The death toll has risen to 138. 138 people killed in 43 days. The protests continue. So does the crackdown. The Myanmar army has declared martial law in 6 key areas of Yangon.
But this ain't shit,
the decision
man.
has been taken in light of the rising anti-China sentiment. On Sunday, several Chinese-funded factories were vandalized and set on fire. Reports say some Chinese workers were also thrashed. Beijing is now increasingly being seen as the facilitator and supporter of this coup, an accomplice of the military junta, and the single biggest threat to the pro-democracy movement in Myanmar. We have a report to show you, and some of the images in the report could be disturbing, but we must show this to you. It is important for the world to know the scale of brutality being inflicted on the people of Myanmar.
This video has been released by the Global Times. It shows Chinese factories in Yangon being set on fire. The report says Chinese nationals were also thrashed during this incident. Beijing has pinned the blame on what it calls anti-China locals provoked by anti-China forces. It has asked the military junta to punish the perpetrators, but made no mention of the brutalities being committed by the security forces.
Myanmar has already sent more police and firefighters to the area to strengthen security at the scene. China will continue to urge the army to take practical measures to stop all violence, investigate and punish the relevant perpetrators in accordance with law, and ensure the safety of the lives and properties of Chinese enterprises and personnel in Myanmar.
Here's what this led to. The military junta has imposed martial law in 6 key areas of Yangon: Lang Thaya, Shwep Yi Thar, North Dagon, North Okalapa, South Dagon, and Dagon Sekan. These are all areas where most of the Chinese factories and offices are located. The imposition of martial law here means that the military now has the full administrative and judicial authority over these areas. And this is how that authority is being imposed, through torture. This video from Yangon shows police officers beating and kicking a female protester. Injured protester who lay unresponsive on the ground is dragged by police officials across the street. He has been identified.
And hey, this soon is coming to America, you know. Wait till martial law pop off over here in America, man. You know, it's going to be way, way worse than what you see now going over there in Myanmar, you know.
identified as a 17-year-old university student who later succumbed to his injuries. A total of 38 people were killed in police firing on Sunday, the bloodiest day since the crackdown began. Public funerals like these have become a frequent sight in Yangon, as parents of those who died weep uncontrollably. Many in Myanmar have started putting the onus on China for these killings. What happened to Chinese factories in Yangon was just one outcome of this rising anti-China sentiment, a sentiment that's not really unsubstantiated. In January, a month before the coup, China's top diplomat Wang Yi met General Ming Aung-Lang. Experts say Myanmar's military could not have gone ahead with a move so grave without the support of China. In February, when the coup took place, China did not criticize Myanmar's generals. It called the coup a mere cabinet reshuffle. This support became more evident when Chinese planes landed in Yangon on the 11th of February. Reports said that the planes brought arms and technicians to help the Myanmar army. And now China is telling the army generals to punish the protesters. The world may not have fully woken up to China's role in the ongoing turmoil, but the people of Myanmar have, and they are fighting back. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all
So-called Haitians, Levi, Charlie Levi.
People can't live. People are earning everything every day. People are killing. Gang are killing people. That's the reason why you can see through the street all the people are here to ask Jovenel Moïse to resign and to give up because we can't accept his dictatorship.
Can you guess which one of these foods is killing your Can you make a picture of this window? Of you?
It's a big step toward making vaccines safe for children. This morning, Moderna says it has already given the first doses of its vaccine to kids from 6 months of age to 12 years old. The two-part study is designed to show how the children tolerate the vaccine and to make sure it is safe and effective for them. Our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, spoke to one family that's involved in a clinical vaccine trial. David, good morning to you.
Good morning. So Moderna's expanding its age bracket. They had been doing age 12 to 17, but now they're doing even the babies. Listen, the principal investigator of the Moderna trial here in Houston said they had more people sign up here in Houston, and apparently they've got the biggest of the Moderna trials. So we said, well, let's go to Houston. And we met two sisters whose mom and dad signed them up. It was Blair Davis's 15th birthday, and to celebrate, she and her younger sister Dylan got into the car, headed to a clinic.
Happy birthday, way to celebrate.
And they got a COVID swab. That's because the Davis sisters are part of Moderna's adolescent vaccine trials.
Of course they're going to show
yesterday, they got their second shots.
No way to know if it's a placebo or if it's the real thing, but what do you think?
I think I got the placebo.
We're pushing for fever. We're pushing for body aches.
Yes, exactly.
That's
because
right.
as doctors, you know that if that happens, the body is reacting
That's
to
right.
something.
That's right. They're getting a response.
Yeah.
We're looking for a response.
Garvin Davis and Mindy Jeter, both doctors, are the girls' parents. They say they applied to at least 3 different adolescent trials.
To get them protected was really important for us.
So you felt like getting them protected as early as possible would in the end protect you?
Would protect us. It would protect their grandparents and anyone else.
For the next few days, the girls will have to record their temperatures and any other symptoms in a digital journal. And in a few weeks, they'll come back for another checkup.
See, they make Jake the face of encouraging your children to get, vaccinated, man. Oh, man.
But for this family, it's not just about protecting themselves from COVID.
I wanted them to be an example, to set an example, to say, hey, this vaccine is safe. We actually, as doctors, trust our children getting this shot.
I would say unquestionably, being African American really played a role in really wanting our girls to participate. It still is personal because as African American physicians, we understand the science of it. So we know what happened to Tuskegee. We know what they were doing and how it was wrong. But this is not that. Like, these studies that are being done now are being done in a way that I think we should be able to trust them.
If our kids can help get this trial approved for other teenagers, I think it'll make everyone feel better and be in a safer place.
And that's their goal, to get these other kids that want to take it, man. These other little Jakes to take it.
And getting kids vaccinated will be critical to ending the pandemic, says CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus.
So we have to do everything we can to get toward herd immunity. And given that 25% of the United States is under the age of 21, this is going to have to include children.
Never trust our enemy,
adult
man.
vaccine trials required tens of thousands of participants in order to prove that the vaccines stopped people from getting sick. And now that we know the vaccines work, children's trials only need to answer the important questions.
Is it safe, period? And do they mount effective immune responses, period? And those are very easy to do with smaller numbers of children.
A few thousand children, actually, starting with kids like Dylan and Blair, who spent her special day in a Houston clinic.
But it's sort of my duty, like, as a Houstonian, to help out other Houstonians. This is one way I can do that.
How about that from a 15-year-old? Civic duty. Look, Dr. Anthony Fauci says the older kids could get vaccinated by the fall, the younger kids by early next year. Anthony?
Yeah, underline that number, David. 25% of the U.S. under 21. That's an amazing stat, David. Thank you.